Welcome back to my channel Knowledge Chronicle.
Have you ever wondered how plants breathe? Unlike us, they don't have lungs, but they still need energy to grow, bloom, and survive. The secret lies in a fascinating process called respiration, where plants break down sugar to release energy. And the first step in this process, a powerful biochemical reaction known as glycolysis. Let's dive deep into glycolysis, the very foundation of energy production in plants and all living beings. The word glycolysis comes from Greek, where glyco means sugar and lysis means breaking down. It's the process where a single glucose molecule is split into two molecules of pyruvic acid, a crucial step in respiration. Now, where does this glucose come from? In plants, it primarily comes from photosynthesis, where they produce sugar as their food. Some of this glucose is stored as sucrose or starch, which can later be broken down to fuel glycolysis. When plants need energy, the enzyme invertase breaks sucrose into glucose and fructose, which can easily enter the glycolysis pathway. Unlike some energy processes that require special cell organelles, glycolysis happens in the cytoplasm of every living cell, whether it's a tiny bacterium, a towering tree, or even inside your own body. Since glycolysis doesn't require oxygen, it can work under both aerobic with oxygen and anaerobic without oxygen conditions. That's why even primitive life forms rely on this ancient process. Glycolysis isn't just one step. It's a chain of 10 biochemical reactions, each controlled by a specific enzyme. But don't worry, we'll break it down simply. When glucose enters the cell, it must be activated by phosphorylation, a fancy way of saying it gets a phosphate group attached. Hexokinase enzyme uses ATP to convert glucose into glucose 6-phosphate, or G6P. This rearranges into fructose 6-phosphate, often called F6P, with the help of another enzyme. Another ATP molecule is used to convert F6P into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, making the molecule highly reactive. The 6-carbon sugar is now ready to split. It breaks into two 3-carbon molecules, dihydroxyacetone phosphate, or DHA, and 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde, commonly known as PGAL. Only PGAL moves forward, but don't worry. DHAP quickly converts into PGAL to keep the process going. Now, the magic happens. The PGAL molecules go through a series of reactions that produce energy-rich molecules. NADH plus H plus formation. PGAL loses electrons and hydrogens, transferring them to NAD plus, forming NADH plus H plus, which is an energy carrier like a rechargeable battery. ATP production. The molecule is further converted, and ATP is produced during these steps. In the final steps, phosphenol pyruvate, or PEP, converts into pyruvic acid, generating another ATP. Let's do the math. ATP used 2 molecules, ATP gained 4 molecules, net ATP profit 2 molecules per glucose, plus glycolysis generates 2 NADH molecules which can be used in further energy production. Pyruvic acid is the star of the show. It can follow 3 different paths depending on oxygen availability. Aerobic respiration with oxygen. Pyruvic acid enters the Krebs cycle, where it is fully broken down into carbon dioxide and water, releasing even more energy. Lactic acid fermentation, without oxygen, in some bacteria and mussels. Pyruvic acid turns into lactic acid, which is why your muscles burn during intense workouts. Alcoholic fermentation, without oxygen, in yeast and some bacteria. Pyruvic acid converts into ethanol and carbon dioxide, a process used to make bread rise and produce alcoholic beverages. Glycolysis is the universal energy pathway. It happens in all living cells, from bacteria to plants, and even in our own bodies. It provides quick energy, helps in cellular respiration, and even connects with other metabolic pathways. So next time you see a plant, remember, it may not have lungs, but its cells are constantly breathing through glycolysis to stay alive. If you found this explanation fascinating, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more insightful content to you. Stay curious and see you in the next video on Knowledge Chronicle.